I am here today with my two very close friends, Gina and Dana. We go back close to 30 years. We're discussing today the success stories of having babies at 40 years old. Tell me your story.
So I actually have a 5-week-old baby. I just had my first child 5 weeks ago. Her name is Emerson Lily Violet, and I've waited. I waited quite a long time, and I'm absolutely thrilled. It's the way I describe it has been. It's been a surreal 5 weeks. It really has. I feel like I'm in like this bubble above, watching down, looking at my dreams come true. So it's really amazing.
And tell me about your children.
I have 2 girls, and they're Bobby is 4 and Georgia is 1. And I had them 37 when I had Bobby, and then a couple years later I had Georgia, and now she's 1, and it's been great.
Now, did your doctors label you? Were you called the advanced maternal age?
I don't remember
Well,
that.
definitely going through testing. I remember if
Yeah.
you're over age 35, you had to have more testing done, and
You're at risk.
at risk.
At risk,
yes.
they called it. I don't. Yeah, and everything was. You almost felt like you were a grandmother having a baby. You know, the way they thought it was so risky.
Right,
you know?
right. Even over age 30, they really
Yeah.
were just
Yeah, and there's a lot of extra tests that you have to get.
extra tests.
And because there's risk of the baby being having Down syndrome, there's risk of other neurological and mental disorders that really scare you, and so you definitely want to take. I took a lot of the tests early on to make sure.
And they're scary too, because you hope everything's going to come back
Right.
okay, and just hope for the best.
You hope and you pray.
Well, what I read is that when you're 40, you want to take care of your health. You're going to go to the doctor. You're going to go for those mammograms. You're going to make sure that you keep up on your health, that you're healthy for your child.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now, 40 is the new 20. If we take a look at Madonna, we have J-Lo, we have Halle Berry,
Mariah Carey,
Carey. Everyone is having children.
Jennifer Aniston, I'm sure will be having.
Yes,
that's a
yes.
good.
She's older.
And at 40, you really want it. If you're not going to have a baby at 40 unless you really want that child. And I think you're right. There is a patience that comes with that probably a 20 or 30-year-old doesn't have.
How did you feel being pregnant?
Both times I had really great pregnancies. I mean, as far as I didn't have any morning sickness or anything, but, and I guess, when I'd be at the mall or something, you see some mothers that are the same age or younger mothers too. So maybe sometimes I felt like, oh, I'm a little older, but I still felt good about myself. I felt healthy, and I felt like I looked good, I still exercised. I still exercised during both pregnancies, and just wanted to, stay healthy for my babies, so.
Very similar with me. I really wanted to be healthy. So I think I probably ate better than I ever did, at least with the rest of my 30s. Right. I was eating healthy, and I was walking a lot. I really, wanted to, stay in shape and not get, I didn't want to gain all the pregnancy weight that so many people do. So I was trying to stay in shape, and I think you're very conscious about it. So I had a pretty good pregnancy too. My only thing was migraines. I had bad migraines in my pregnancy, but it was just hormonal, they said.
So neither of you had premature birth, natural delivery.
Yeah.
Natural with my first one. The second one, I ended up having placenta previa that just could happen, nothing to do with really your age, just something that happens, and I ended up having a C-section. So,
okay.
But everything, it was, almost to full term too.
Yeah.
It's like a week before, so.
Well, Gina, tell us about the night before you delivered Emerson. Where were you?
So it's funny that you mentioned Madonna earlier, because my boss had taken a bunch of us out to a concert, and he took us to see Madonna. But the music was so loud and the music was so dark that Emerson started moving around quite a bit inside my stomach, and she was like just
more so than normal,
reacting.
I guess.
Yeah, reacting to the music, and so we left, and an hour later I went into labor.
Wow. Wow.
I was
Did your
like,
water
I think,
break?
no, I think Madonna brought it on though.
Oh, wow. That's so funny.
I think Madonna brought it on. I actually had to have my water broken. Yeah.
Okay.
And was it an easy delivery?
Yeah, it was. I have to say, I thought it was a really great experience. Epidural helped.
Yes,
Epidural
yeah.
definitely helped make it good, but it was a really nice experience.
Now, when I saw Gina in the hospital, she looked beautiful, just like
yeah.
this. Literally, she could have gone to a business meeting.
I could not have,
good.
but thank you for saying that.
You really did.
I was a little puffy because of pushing. You get that puffy
Well, you have all
face.
this stuff
Yeah,
being
and all that
pumped into you.
and the
Yes,
fluids
right.
and stuff. But yeah, it wasn't. I was nervous. I was scared because you don't know what to expect, you know. And you could ask as many people as you want as to what it's going to feel like. But it actually was nice.
Now, both of you, am I correct? You did not know what you're having.
I didn't.
No, both times surprise.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, not many people do that.
No, I wanted a surprise,
Yeah,
you know.
me
and
too.
sort of, my husband probably wanted to find out, but I said,
Yep.
if you know, it's not going to be, you know, good with me. So he's like, all right, we'll just go with it then, and not know.
It was great. I thought
Nice
to
surprise.
be surprised.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
So, what did you do in your pregnancy to stay healthy? Anything different?
Just eating, trying to eat healthy, but no, nothing. I mean, I always try to eat healthy, you know, and exercise. Just maybe not as vigorous as I was doing before. You know.
I tend to agree. It's just, you know, eating more fruit, vegetables, and the exercise is different. I like to run, and you couldn't run really I couldn't run the whole pregnancy. So I just turned it into walking, you know, so you just kind of
You
vary.
can still do your weights, you know.
yeah,
just
yeah,
Not
you
as,
just not as vigorously.
right.
Do you feel like an older mom?
I don't know.
I guess when I take my 4-year-old to preschool and I look around to just see, you know, am I really old? You know, how do I compare, you know? And I see moms kind of the same age and, you know, maybe a little bit younger, maybe a little bit older, but I haven't seen the teen moms yet, you know, that I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so old. But
Yeah.
I feel okay.
I do
know.
too. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel too old. Yeah. I mean, Lauren, you're one of my best friends. So most of my friends had their children 10 years ago. You know,
Right.
and so I
Almost
think
14.
Yeah, and I'm like the
Wow.
only one who's having a child now. So that's a little different. But I think we're having fun with it. You
Yes.
know, and. I think the other thing is I live in Hoboken, and Hoboken's, you know, a little bit like a
Right.
city, and there's lots of there's a lot of 30-something, 40-something moms there. So I feel like I'm in a good place where there's a lot of people like me. I do the math in my head. How old am I going to be when she's in college? How old am I going to be, you know, when, you know, she's probably going to be dating and that sort of thing. And it does get me a little nervous that it makes me want to be around, and it makes me want to stay healthy, and it makes me want to make sure that I stay young for her.
Have you saved for your daughter's college? Does she have a separate account already?
Yes, she has a separate account already. As soon as we got the Social Security card, we created the separate account, and we're filling her piggy banks. You know that.
Yeah.
But
Coins.
no, I think I haven't necessarily said this is the money for college. What I've done is I went to go see I have a financial advisor, and as soon as I knew I was pregnant, I sat down with him and we just kind of reassessed my whole financial portfolio, and just kind of reassessed, you know, what you know, refinancing my mortgage and figuring out life insurance. I never had life insurance before. So I'm going out now and I'm purchasing some life insurance. Just things that I hadn't really thought of when I was a single, you know, 30-year-old, and now I'm a mom and I have a family, and I'm trying to think about how do I create a world that hopefully I'm going to be in for the next 40, 50 years. But if I'm not, how is she provided for? So I just did some careful planning.
And yourself, were you ever prepared not to have children?
Yes, I guess got married when I was 31. So we figured around 35, you know, we'll hopefully start at 35, you know, just wait a little while. And it took longer than we thought. And we ended up having to go see, you know, reproductive doctor. And luckily everything worked out the first time and then the second time too. So, but yeah, it was, but then once you start talking to people kind of about it, it's, you know, kind of a secret at first, but then you see so many people at the reproductive place, it's common.
Yeah, it is.
And you
It
talk
is.
to other people, and people have actually gone through the same thing. So
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And I was lucky. I pretty much got pregnant on like the first try. So
Yeah,
I'm 40,
great.
so it worked.
And it usually takes, so they say, at age 35, it takes 3 years from 35 over.
Wow.
So that's the
Wow.
average.
Okay.
So
Wow.
you were really
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Miracle babies.
Miracle babies. I'm going to ask you some career questions.
Career questions, okay?
How has your focus changed since having Emerson?
Well, I'm in corporate America, and I think that I was confused at first. Not confused, but I did not know how long I was going to be out. Let's put it that way. When they asked me how long will you be out, are you going to take your 12 weeks of what is called FMLA? The 12 weeks of
Family
Protect
leave.
Family Medical Leave
Okay.
Act, and I said, I'm not sure. I'm going to see how it goes. But I have a pretty high pressure job in which I know that they want me back as soon as I can. But they also are a very caring company, and they know that this is something I've wanted my whole life. So despite the fact that my job needs me back, the people I work for are very much patient. And I actually saw them this week. I went back for a dinner. There was a dinner that I wanted to attend, and my parents watched the baby. It was my first, night out, and I went back to the dinner, and my boss came up to me and he goes, "Now you don't come back too early. You take some time and you bond with your child and stay home." So I thought that was very encouraging.
Well, let me ask you a question. You're breastfeeding.
I'm trying. Yes, I am.
Now you're going back to work.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to pump and to continue to breastfeed. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how far I could do it. I heard Dana did it for a year, right? She did it
With
for-
both kids?
With both kids, yeah.
But then again, I wasn't at work, but I know people who have done it at work
Yeah,
like that.
I
and
do
just
too,
pump.
but-
You only did breastfeeding?
I did, right?
That's
I never
amazing.
You didn't
No, I never.
supplement with
No.
Oh,
formula?
I think that's so
No.
amazing.
Did you
No.
try?
No, I just was always, it was just easier. I don't know, I would just, I pumped sometimes, but most of the time, it just always
It
was just there, I was always
Baby was
on
ready
demand,
when you
on
were ready.
demand.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
How would you have felt if you never had a child?
Oh, that's a good question. I know I would have felt incomplete. Having a baby was absolutely what I wanted. Oh, there we go. There's Emerson.
I would like to introduce Emerson. Emerson is 5 weeks old today.
5 weeks old, that's
Wow.
right. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
So do you think you want to have more children?
I do, and the doctor said to me when I asked him, I told him that the other day. He goes, "Well, you better get going because you're getting really old." I'm like, "Thanks, doc."
Like, I'm like 20.
yeah.
40 is the new 20.
I'm like, I thought that would, but I guess doctors don't feel that way. They do in the magazines. So yeah, I think I do. I just don't know how. I might adopt. I don't know.
And Dana, you've got 2 beautiful, healthy daughters.
Yeah,
You're
we're
done.
very, very happy with that, and we're pretty much see how it goes.
So as I said, both of you are the success stories of having babies at 40 years old.
Thank you.
Yay, thanks.
So you can now inspire the world.
to do the same. To wait.
It's
No.
so nice to hear that,
Yes, thank you.
and hopefully our children will think that too
Yes,
someday.
yes, that's true. Yep.
Look at her. Look at those lips.
Good.
She's got
You
great
see
lips.
those lips?
She's got great. She has the Angelina
Angelina
Jolie
Jolie
lips.
Yes.